So, who is Chef Rodney?
The only asshole that isn't afraid to give it to you real. I've made some mistakes, yeah, but you know what? I've also learned from them. A chef's life isn't a walk in the park. Think more of a haunted house that's lit on fire. So after making it out somewhat alive, I'm here to show you what I've learned in my time behind the blade. This is Deliciously Dope, a journey into the world of culinary cannabis.
What's up, y'all? It's Chef Rodney. Welcome back to, I guess you could say, the jungle edition of the Daily Chronicles. We're coming at you live next to a bonfire with the amazing, amazing person that I've always looked up to. The amazing Coarse Grind podcast host, Shawn Rosler. This is the Daily Chronicles, y'all, coming at your faces. What's up, y'all? It's Chef Rodney next to a bonfire. Welcome back, my Tokers, Jokers, and Smokers of the Daily Chronicles. So, yeah, man, you guys always see me kind of like in the studio doing the thing, like the serious life. Like, I'm kind of vegging and taking my mental health escape this week. But I wanted to bring you with me because we always see, how chefs work in the kitchen. We don't see how chefs relax, and that is just as crucial, y'all, as having a full list of duties and things of that nature. A good work to life ratio is something that I'm absolutely an advocate for. Speaking of being an advocate for, oh my God, you guys, you definitely have to check out Coarse Grind podcast because today, my man Shawn Rosler is absolutely killing it. He has got some amazing, amazing news. So without any other further ado, here's my man, Shawn Rosler. What's going on, dude? How you doing, baby?
So right up front, I want to put something out there. I quit. I'm hanging it up because that intro alone was enough to make me stop. Like, what are you doing to me?
I didn't do anything. I learned it from you. You told me, listen, intro's gotta be good. Huh?
Oh my God, what is going on, man? Thank you for bringing me on. I appreciate it. I know we've been meeting to meet up for a while, and everything is what it is, but I think now is the time, and couldn't be more happy to be here, buddy.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like, I thought about it. I was like, yo, let me add a little production fire, So we spent all day and figured we'd get her done. You know what I'm saying? I made me a mixed drink with a little bit of THC in it. Took me a nice fat dab before the show. We're sitting pretty, man.
Appreciate it, man. Awesome.
Now, I understand you got some big news.
What's the big news? And I think big is relative, and probably by the time this comes out, the episode will have come out. But here's the way the universe works. I believe it works in a really cool way. And sometimes when a door closes, another opens. You've heard that before. I was lining up another local food icon to have on to be like, hey, how's reopening going? Because that's a big deal, right? We're up to 75% capacity, and that's a big deal in and of itself. Mm-hmm. He has to get married. Nice excuse, right? And so I'm bummed for about 5 minutes, and I checked the messages for the Facebook page for Coarse Grind Podcast.
Oh, shit.
That's COARSE, by the way.
Yeah.
And I opened it up, and here's this big, long message from this guy, David Page, who I don't know from Adam. Turns out he's the guy who has 2 Emmys on his shelf and created Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives.
No shit.
He just put out a book, Food Americana, which I'm going to plug like ruthlessly throughout, because he's just an amazing guy. And honestly, we went an hour 20 last night, and I'm like, we could have kept going for 3 or more hours, no question. It was fantastic. More to come on, the budding relationship between the empires, but I really do think you're going to see some work between Coarse Grind and Americana, David Page, down the road. But
absolutely,
such a cool guy, phenomenal guy.
That warms my bones, much like this fire, to hear that. You feel me, fam? Like that's you and I have talked about it, and I got a lot of influence from a lot of cooks and chefs, and people. Some people may know, some people don't know. The point is, there's influence in that, and that's kind of what today's episode is all about. Is kind of influence.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I kind of know your position and your take on cannabis. That's awesome. So we're gonna have a non-smoking section today. You know what I'm saying? Hence the drink.
Absolutely.
So, there's some stuff.
With you, my friend.
Oh, hell yeah. So you're in the great state of Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. Okay. So tell me, what's the cannabis culture like in Pennsylvania thus far from a non-smoker? Like, how do you feel? Like, is it abrasive, invasive? Like, how do you feel?
Yeah, so here's my metric. Here's how I measure it, right? I listen to my kids because my kids are real aware, and I've got an 8th grader and a 5th grader. The 1st grader isn't picking up on it, and I'm glad for that. That would be weird.
Right.
The 8th and the 5th grader ask questions. Hey, what's that green plus sign? Hey, what's that? Hey, what's that? And we have very open conversations about it, not necessarily the just, getting high aspect, but we talk about the medicinal aspect. Both my wife and I, coming from healthcare, it's one of those things that if you don't talk about it, the curiosity will lure them, probably down a bad path early on, and that's no good. We don't want that. Right. What we want is open conversations and facts. That's what we deal in. So to that end, you're seeing stuff all, and again, we're in a small town. We're in Bloomsburg, central Pennsylvania, right?
Okay.
And you're seeing stuff about dispensaries. You're seeing stuff about, all these different new venues hiring like mad. And it's awesome because, I've always been one to espouse the belief that, yes, that there is a medicinal benefit. And obviously science has backed us on that, which is phenomenal. So I honestly, for one, could not be happier to see it alive and thriving right now in my state.
Hell yeah. That's what we want to hear, man. That's what we want to hear. And I say we, as in so you were there kind of at the beginning of my journey into stepping into the social media ring. You kind of were like, no, dude, you're fine. Just do it. That final friend that just nudges you in the deep
end. Beth, and the rest is history, as they say.
Exactly. And that wasn't too long. That was about a little less than a year ago, and so this is where I'm at. So A, thank you. B, it's someone whose opinion I can trust, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not, if you agree with the side, it's very clear, it's very evident. If you disagree, it's very, so you're very, I wouldn't say black and white, but logical, I guess is the correct term to use there.
I mean, dude, listen, it goes the route of the COVID vaccine, of the chlorine shortage, of putting gas in plastic bags. Who are you people to oppose this? Stop it. It's not affecting you. Gay marriage. My God, they oppose gay marriage. at the same time in the same breath. So if you put those things next to each other, what do they all have in common? They have no rational fact-based basis.
Thank you.
But then here's the rest of us going, for me personally, wow, I have an 8-year-old with autism. My God, if 15% of what he struggles with daily could go away, get out of my way. Like, I'll knock your teeth out if you stand in my way. Like, family first, obviously. So I cannot get. Like, you can take somebody, and listen, I'm not trying to make it political.
Yeah.
There's political gravitations both sides. This is what I'll say. You take someone who opposes gay marriage on the basis of the biblical reference. And I know we were talking religion before. Yeah. I'm a good talk show host like that. I can call up, callbacks. And I will take them as someone who almost went to the cloth. I literally was 2 steps away from going to be Reverend Shawn Rosler. I am ordained today through Universal Life Church. So if you want to get married, call me. And I'll show them passages in the Bible, specifically Leviticus, that doesn't say a thing about that. You could interpret it to say that, but you can interpret a lot of things.
Now, can we touch on the Bible real quick? Because I do have a quick question for you, and you're gonna love this. Okay, so let's with religion in the Bible, it says certain things. The Bible has been translated; it's the Word of God. That's absolutely fine. But how do you? Let me take a step back. Do you believe that anything cannabis during the cannabis purge, if you will, would have been omitted from the Bible and then reprinted, if you will? Because I've looked, and I've done this. I've looked at 2 of the same exact King James Version, Bibles, printed 10 years apart, and the verbiage is not the same.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
What you have to step back and realize, and this is not me. Listen, I don't really have the fancy cloths or anything. But I did a lot of studying because I find it intriguing. I really do. I believe, I believe a lot of the stuff that's in there are good tenets, just like there's tenets in Buddhism, Judaism, Islam, all of these religions boil down to 4 magic words, and they're don't be a dick. That's what all world religions boil down to. So if you take the Bible and you look at Christianity objectively, it is the youngest world religion, or I'm sorry, one of the. There are about 3 in front of it. One of the youngest world religions, but certainly one with the most world conquest on its hands.
Okay.
So what we did was we maligned these words, these teachings, these very well-intended messages, and we retranslated them.
Right.
But to find retranslate, what we did was we made it say what we wanted it to.
We changed the narrative to fit ours.
Sure. Of course.
Exactly. That's my point. And so
you can look at the Vatican as this holy world center, or you can look at it as the city-state that it is. Yeah. And again, exactly. I'm not disparaging any sect of Christianity. Nothing. All I'm saying is basic objectivity. You can't look at that and say, like,
I'll say it. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Those in the Vatican, they fucking know it. They fucking know it. You know why? Because they, blood was paid or whatever years before to create that position that they're in. They know that you can't fucking touch them. They know that they can make it go away. At the same time, where's the choice in that for everybody else? There isn't. You know what I mean?
I recommend all of your viewers, all of your listeners, if you have not, watch the movie Stigmata, then watch it 4 more times. And by the 5th time, you'll go, oh, wait a minute, 4 Gospels, but there were 12 disciples? How does that wash?
It all comes out in the wash.
It does. So I studied for a long time Celtic Christianity. So these were the Gnostic Gospels. These are the ones that stepped away from Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, these 4. If you read them side by side, 90% of them are the same, without question. 90% of them are the same. But if you take the other 8 into consideration, including the Gospel of Judas, of which there is one, tells a little different story. This is where, and I'm sorry, Chef, did you ever see Stigmata before?
Dude, it's been a while.
Yeah. So basically, Gospel of St. Thomas is one of the most commonly quoted Gnostic Gospels, and it delivers the punchline that organized religions hate because it takes their foundation out from under them. The kingdom of heaven is within you and all about you. Lift a stone and you will find me. Split a piece of wood and I am there. Heaven could be God. Depends on the translation. That's a heavy statement to an organization that's relying on asses and seats every Sunday and money in the plate.
Right.
Again, not saying there's anything wrong with that. I find a lot of comfort in that. I took my mom to church at my old church for the first. I hadn't been there in 10 years. I walked in, people knew me, people hugged me, and it was truly rewarding. Like, that's what I miss about going to church. But I think with age and with time comes some certain questioning. So, like, you know, why did my sweet friends Gary and Michael have to be afraid minutes before their wedding in Town Park here in Bloomsburg?
They shouldn't have had to.
Because it's a part of it, and that's not necessarily hanging it all on religion. Listen, people, non-religious people are assholes to begin with. Unfortunately, some people use that as a crutch to hang on. You know,
I feel that, man. So it's interesting because, like,
I feel like we went real dark, real deep, real fast. So we gotta like.
Oh, you're good. No, you're good. I got something pretty funny. I growing up, you know, I was nudged in a certain direction. Okay. I found quick that it really was just the kitchen gods that I had to worry about. You know, I didn't have time for religion nor money. You know, and so it was like. I felt bad if I were to show up at the collection plate, but like, yo, really though, I could use that 20. You know what I mean? That's how I felt, because it was like, let's face it, I was a line cook. I didn't have dollar bills, y'all. You feel me? Like, I had just enough to get by, maybe if barely, and that's banking on if I can work. So, you know, 2 months